Apparently both the city and county are working in cahoots with one another to, I shit you not, deny the unhoused from both sleeping downtown and socializing downtown. They're not allowed to be at Ben's Park, County Government Center, Yule Plaza where the public library is, or Penn Square. That's how bad it's kind of getting in Lancaster, but nobody really ever talks about some of these other little towns, you know? Lancaster is a part of the South Central PA region. South Central is the Bible Belt of Pennsylvania. So we got lots of religious leaders that like to speak out at certain points, but for some odd reason become silent when it's attacks on the poor and dispossessed, especially the unhoused. We have a saying in the Homeless Union: how can you worship a homeless man on Sunday, then walk over one on Monday? Because let's be clear, Jesus was born unhoused. He was homeless, he was a member of the working class, he was organizing his own poor people's campaign, spoke out against the Roman Empire, they deemed him an enemy of the state, and they crucified him. I want to talk a little bit about the conditions that we are facing as a nation and why it's important in any capacity that you have available to get organized, to unite across all lines of division, because we are facing some severe tough times ahead, even worse than we are experiencing right now. Currently, in the United States, over 135 million people are poor or low income, with a significant number of people about to drop down into the poors with us, right? That number, that 135 plus million, is already 40% of our nation's population. So the poor and dispossessed, us, we are the majority. Currently, 50%, 50% of all renters in the United States are struggling to pay their rents. 30.8% of all homeowners are struggling to maintain their homes and being referred to as house poor. What is that? They are going to be the next round of those that join us on the streets. So we are about to see not only the rise in homelessness we've seen the last 2 years, in the coming years we're about to see a significantly high number. At the same time, there's a rise in police violence, incarceration. Massive amounts of people have been cut off of Medicaid. 23 million people nationwide. Over 900,000 in Pennsylvania. Half of that was because the state screwed up with paperwork. A third of that number cut were children. And nobody can afford health insurance. And let's be clear, health insurance is ridiculous, unnecessary, and the largest barrier to our health care in existence. So as Max said, we are uniting across all lines of divisions across this country to get into step. The National Union of the Homeless is a part of the National Nonviolent Medicaid Army. And we are in the midst of a Medicaid cutoff organizing drive. And we are looking at the various ways how we can utilize organizing around the Supreme Court decision that ruled in favor of grants pass, which means the Supreme Court has now opened up the floodgates to make it totally legit for every locality across this nation to criminalize homelessness. They are deeming if you lay on the street, if you lay on cardboard, if you have a pillow, if you have a blanket, it is now legally able to criminalize you for that. We have to understand how all these things within this system is interconnected, and that the system overall is the root cause of all of our problems. And we have to unite to fight back, to kill that system before it kills us. Now I'm going to share a couple slogans we have in the National Union of the Homeless, because I do want to share with you that we come from a long line of history. So the Homeless Union was huge in the late 80s and early 90s. But obviously through co-optation, chemical warfare and things like that, they broke up the union. But we reestablished in 2019, and we're coming back with a vengeance. There is a severe war on the poor right now, and the unhoused are on the front lines, and we are calling in the cavalry. I said one of our slogans, right? How can you worship a homeless man on Sunday and walk over one on Monday? We want power, not pity. We are homeless, not helpless. We can think for ourselves, organize for ourselves. We know what change needs to happen.
And we're proof of it.
They want to push us aside as if we, when you see us covered in the media, what do you see? They demonize us, they pity us, but never point out the fact that we are powerful people with powerful testimonies that actually show the examples and the contradictions within this system. They keep telling us we just got to keep working hard, we'll get there. Ah, bullshit. If poverty was an individual failing, then the majority of our nation wouldn't be poor. It's not an individual failing. It is not your fault. It is a failure of the system. And the only way we're going to make change happen is by uniting and coming together and demanding change. That's how the working class has gotten change and made things happen all throughout history. Because we fought back and we made demands and we pushed for it and we didn't back down. Because what do we got to lose at this point? We got nothing to lose but our chains. We got to fight back. Our very survival depends on it. And the very survival of our neighbors depends on it. Now I want to get us all fired up. It's a call and response chant. So I'm going to say forward together and y'all are going to chant back, not one step back. Y'all ready? Yeah? Forward together.
Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
One more time as loud as you can. Forward together.